Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and Christopher Nolan just roasted his studio, Warner Brothers. I'm still kind of shocked because Christopher Nolan's not the type of guy to go out there so hot and just flame somebody, especially someone he's worked with on every movie since Insomnia. But I'm here with Lewis. Lewis, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. I took a nap and Popcorn Planet's going crazy. First, you confirm aliens. Now this Christopher Nolan story about HBO Max, and there's more to it, actually.
It's been a busy day. But yes, if you haven't watched the previous videos, I actually started talking about this story. Did a very in-depth breakdown on why this is such a big war brewing for Hollywood. And I even, Jody Damas, I've got inspired by him. Andy Damas here put Christopher Nolan's picture next to talent before I even got these quotes because I knew, Lewis, Christopher Nolan's not going to be happy with this move. He's going to say something. But I didn't know the extent of what he was going to say. So if you want to see the full take on this, it's important analysis for Hollywood and what this means. Click the top left. I'll put the video up there. You can go watch it there first, and then come back and get our follow-up here where we're going to share comments from Nolan as well as James Gunn, Denis Villeneuve, and some other ramifications from around town, people reacting today. So, Lewis, let's get into this. So first up, I want to give you a quote from Entertainment Tonight. They got Nolan, and they asked him his reaction to HBO Max, and he said, "Oh, I mean disbelief, especially the way in which they did it. There's such controversy around it because they didn't tell anyone. In 2021, they've got some of the top filmmakers in the world. They got some of the best stars in the world who worked for years, in some cases, on these projects, very close to their hearts, that are meant to be big screen experiences. They're meant to be out there for the widest possible audiences, and now they're being used as a loss leader for the streaming service, for the fledgling streaming service, without any consultation. So there's a lot of controversy. It's very, 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 very messy. A real bait and switch. Yeah, it's sort of not how you treat filmmakers and stars and people who these guys have given a lot for these projects. They deserve to be consulted and spoken to about what's going to happen to their work." And he talks about the long-term ramifications. He thinks studio theater, obviously movie theaters will eventually bounce back, and it's an important part of the ecosystem long-term. What you have right now is our business is a lot of use of this pandemic as an excuse for sort of grappling for short-term advantage. That's key because they are doing that. HBO Max is trying to say it's for the fans and the better of them, but no, they could have easily held on to these films for a year like every other studio is doing and just put out a few of the films and paid some of that talent and said, look, we're going to put these on digital instead. Instead, Matrix, and these are big movies. Suicide Squad, these are big movies that they are going against their own talent who did not agree to this deal and brought their films, in some cases, to the studio knowing, okay, we're going to get a great big theater experience. So this is totally a short-term advantage. Oh, we're going to take advantage of this situation because we can. We can get a better deal from theaters. We can lift up our HBO Max numbers because it's not working currently. This is a bad move, and it's really sneaky and slimy of Warner Brothers to keep saying it's for the fans. No, it's absolutely for business. And so anyway, he's saying it's unfortunate. This is not how you do business. It's not the best thing for the health of our industry. When the theaters are back and people are going back to the movies, when the vaccine's been rolled out and there's an appropriate health response, I'm very bullish on the long-term prospects of the industry. People love going to the movies, and they're going to go again. He's right. So now getting through all these quotes, Lewis, so we can react. But I mean, already these are some strong comments coming out. I love that he's now they're being used for a loss leader for the streaming service, for the fledgling streaming service. I mean, we know Nolan's not for these streaming things. He wants movies always in the theater, but damn, I mean, he's just biting the hand that feeds him like crazy. Are you surprised by this so far?
I am, because actually Christopher Nolan is a soft-spoken dude. He doesn't really. The only reason he's doing these interviews are to promote the upcoming Tenet Blu-ray or home release or whatever it is. So yeah, this was burning in him for a while, man. Like, this is big.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm sure there's a little bit of like Warner with thought, oh well, he's got to do that Blu-ray press, but we got him his movie. We actually gave him the theatrical experience. We took a huge loss. He's not going to say anything negative. He's always such a good guy. I'm sure Jason Kilar and others at studio are like, mother, what's he doing? But it just shows how out of touch they were with this decision. Like, that's the reality of, like, yes, okay, will this have a short-term win to get HBO Max subscribers? Sure. Industry people are going to say, yay, cool big movies, I get it for cheaper. But the ramifications are so much bigger, as implied, as I previously talked about, and let's show it. So back to the quotes. Here he is again, now speaking to Hollywood Reporter. Some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed the night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service.
Ouch.
I mean, ouch.
Ouch.
But he's right. Right now, it is the worst streaming service, and he's speaking about himself, right? He is one of the world's biggest filmmakers. Warner Brothers has earned that connection to him, Lewis. We're clearly working back since 2002 with Insomnia. They have built that relationship where Nolan brings his movies to Warner Brothers, and so far, they've all been huge moneymakers for the studio. So now, you've just pissed off one of your crown jewels in your arsenal and your Rolodex, who now feels like, oh, I just woke up and now I'm apparently making my movies for their terrible streaming service. I mean, ouch. I mean, this is brutal, no?
Yeah, it is, man. It's he's not really. It's controlled anger, man. He's like pretty much on it. I think HBO Max may be the last of all, behind in the race of the streaming services, actually.
Yeah, I mean, this is not good if you want to build more content in the future, but I'll get there in a second. So, added Nolan, Warner Brothers had an incredible machine for getting a filmmaker's work out everywhere, both in theaters and in the home, and they are dismantling it as we speak. They don't even understand what they're losing. Their decision makes no economic sense, and even the most casual Wall Street investor can see the difference between disruption and dysfunction. I mean, facts. This is where it really comes down to. Now, a lot of people are getting mad at Nolan. I saw online. I'm just, it's so irritating to me. I saw Snyder fans out there saying he's just a whining baby, and I'm just like, it's like if Zack Snyder's movie was in theaters this summer, you bet your butt those fans would be upset too, and he would like. You gotta think about your favorite filmmaker who's making a movie and suddenly just got hoodwinked and said, nope. This is what's actually happening. Nolan doesn't even have a film now in theaters. He's doing this on his own because he's speaking up for Denis Villeneuve and all the other filmmakers that have projects coming up. This isn't what they signed up for. They aren't happy. Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, we're learning now, got paid $10 million each, apparently, approximately, to basically get a buyout of what they would have gotten in bonuses had the movie made $1 billion. So they want them back for part 3. They're trying to woo them. And so Gail, are Patty and Gal upset? I think sure. I think they're annoyed they don't get that to hold on to the movie to make a theatrical experience. But what are the other choices? They're at least getting paid. They get to have a big Christmas release. It's a big splashy thing. Warner Brothers is doing it for them. They even got theaters to approve that one on a one-off. So everything made sense. But now imagine everybody else finding out, wait, you paid Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins $10 million. You didn't even call me? And my movie's now going straight to HBO Max? I mean, this is terrible business. It just shows that Jason Kilar, all these people in the top at AT&T don't know how to run a movie studio. They also don't know how to work with talent. And these are massive moves that are now already disrupting and creating huge divides for Warner Brothers moving forward, which, Lewis, back me up, had a very profitable, big, huge, talent-friendly studio that now, 2022 and beyond, what's going to happen? Talent's going to run away from Warner Brothers, no?
One thing that Warner Brothers had over everyone else, major studio, was that it was director driven and talent driven and stuff. And he let the directors do mostly what they want. At least that was the perception. The people bashing Christopher Nolan, all the directors are thinking the same thing. They all talk to each other. Christopher Nolan's just the first one to talk. And God forbid he tries to back up people that are trying to sell, popcorn at the concession stand,
right,
making minimum wage. What a bastard. You know what I mean? And everyone's saying, I know everyone's happy. It's like they get to see Wonder Woman on TV right now. And Wonder Woman was already, it was already done. It's a wrap. But as the movies go on, they're going to be pulling the budget because if it doesn't make money, so Godzilla, we may get a guy in a suit fighting another guy
next
in a
one,
King
right?
Kong suit.
It's true, yeah. How are they going to be able to afford the sequels and things that we want? I want to go to some other quotes from this article because there's a lot of other stuff coming. So anyway, as I reported earlier today, go watch Warner's made a grave mistake. And a talent insider. Never have so many people been this upset at one entity. Apparently, all the day has been spent dealing with calls with stunned and angry clients. The swooshing sound you hear, it's lawyers stripping their blades as they prepare for battle. That Warner's was self-dealing and shifting these moves to their own streamer. Perhaps the company acted in bad faith. Some talent reps say the decision affects not only profit participation, but others who have worked on the films might affect residual payments, etc. Money becomes a problem. And so unions are getting on deck. Warner's used to be, as Lewis just said, quintessentially talent-friendly, filmmaker-friendly studio. Now Warner's isn't the first place, second place, or even third place you want to go. That is huge death knell that none of these people, John Stankey, Jason Kilar, or Ann Sarnoff, were thinking. They don't understand the movie business, and they don't understand talent relations. All came in from top executives, people speaking, agents, and so on. And so Jason Kilar's out there. It's all for the movies and the industry and the fans, but he doesn't get it. The amount of profits they're about to lose coming from, as I've said, when you sell the movie to multiple venues, right, Lewis? It's like you have tons more money that gets everyone paid. Now,
Yes.
AT&T must have so much money that they don't care, but they're going to care when they start not making as much as Warner used to make. And when talent decides, you know what, we're going to go over to Netflix or somewhere else. If we're going to go streaming, at least we'll get paid and respected by them, and we at least know where it's going and how it's going to work. No one's going to want to work with someone as shady as Warner, who will literally change the deal overnight to suit their interest instead of the talent's interest. That is a massive mistake they didn't factor. And so apparently Toby Emmerich was up there trying to make things work, and so it didn't work. He was calling important filmmakers with projects set for 2020, assuring them it wouldn't be dropped to the streaming service, but anyone who's going to believe he has any control over this situation, because he doesn't. Toby probably had a really bad weekend. Not that I feel bad for him, said one agent. According to a source, Emmerich tried to soothe In the Heights director John Cho by pointing out that the movie was still getting a global theatrical release. But industry insiders say the studio is pretending that pirates won't pounce as soon as these films are streaming. It's going to be available everywhere. Great quality. Again, another completely short-sighted, stupid move of who's going to pay for HBO Max? I'm like, yeah, I'll just get those movies on a torrent. They're going to do it. And so they can't even crack that down. But the John Cho example, I wanted to find there's a specific quote that really calls him out too, of just how depressing this sort of is for these filmmakers, because here it was. There's talent. Dune director Denis Villeneuve is said to be among those who felt most strongly that a traditional big screen release was essential for his film. He's upset, rumors are saying, I would imagine, John Cho, who along with Lin-Manuel Miranda went through an insane courtship with multiple suitors for In the Heights. This is Lin-Manuel Miranda's first musical, and they turned down a huge deal on Netflix to offer for Crazy Rich Asians because he cherishes the communal theater experience. John Cho, who did Crazy Rich Asians, he wanted to have this be a huge movie experience of the summer. Him and Lin-Manuel Miranda have been planning this for years. He told an associate he was shell-shocked after being informed of the Warner decision. So they didn't even tell him. They just were like, yeah, sorry, this is happening.
So weird.
This isn't what you do. This isn't what you do. And then
It's weird. It's just even weird to think that happened. No one knew. What?
Why would they tell him, right? It's just, yeah.
Well, oh man, I don't know. It's so strange. You would think they'd sit everyone down in a meeting and say, hey, in a week we're going to announce this to get our streaming service on par with Netflix. But it's so weird, man, Andy. I don't know.
It just shows they don't know what they're doing. I mean, so here's again, they shoveled tens of millions of dollars at Gal Gadot and other key players because the company wants a third in the series. But that set the bar high. Duh. Sources say even Suicide Squad director James Gunn, who is platform agnostic, was not pleased when the studio followed its shocking announcement by floating a lackluster formula for compensating him and other profit participants in the film. So imagine James Gunn. He's like, all right, cool. I moved over to DC from Marvel, and I'm making the Suicide Squad. Woohoo! I've been working. It's great. We're planning for this big release. We'll just delay it till next year. Oh, by the way, James, sorry, in August, even though the theaters may be open, we're going to premiere on HBO Max. I mean, that's effed up. Like, what the hell? How can you make a plan for August right now? There's too many things up in the air. I understand that sucks for the studios, right, Lewis? But it's like, at the same time, apparently vaccines are coming. Some theaters are open. It's such a weird move. Not only August, but they're going to put Matrix 4 in December in theaters. To go this far and say, yeah, just next December's also going to be on lockdown. I mean, no, I'm not. That's not happening for me.
I'm curious about Matrix because that's an effects heavy movie. What I mean, are they going to pull the budget on that? Is the production going to suffer the quality?
Yeah,
I know it's all fine and dandy.
It'll
right
probably,
now, like I said, for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and it could. Matrix could very likely get delayed. Although I think it was supposed to come out this year, right? So that's probably going to factor. But, dude, the country is not staying down in a whole another lockdown till December. That's just not going to happen. So I'm not to get political on it, but that's not going to work. So they're going to figure out something. Something's going to be open by next December. I think it's safe to say. For Warner to be out there saying, yeah, no, next December Matrix 4 is going to HBO Max is completely disrespectful to the filmmakers without any sort of say. So I mean, lots of stuff's coming out. Legendary is already apparently preparing legal challenges, as I told you about in the previous video. They were upset because Netflix offered them $225 million, and so now HBO Max turned that offer down because they want to keep it for themselves. But where's the profit? So Warner Brothers can't now take money from a financier and say, no, we're going to keep it for our own streaming service. Because the profit, the Legendary is like, well, wait, what are you paying me then, HBO Max? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what's going on. Like that. This type of business is insane what they're doing. I'm floored and shocked to see all this come out without them having any sort of this prepped, or these movies having sort of already made deals to say, here's what we're going to do. One other thing I want to mention, then I'll go to you, Louis, for thoughts, but really good point mentioned at the end of this article where they say, they call out Toby Emmerich, who basically was not a fan of Joker. And so he was defended. It was defended by World War Marketing President Blair Rich, who was recently pushed out. Emmerich lowballed on the budget to discourage director Todd Phillips from making it, and when the filmmaker persisted, he sold off half the movie, and Joker then became a cultural phenomenon that grossed more than $1 billion worldwide, was honored with 11 Oscar nominations, including an Oscar for Joaquin Phoenix. Would any of that happened had Joker been dropped on HBO Max? Louis, I'm saying no, it wouldn't have happened. What do you think?
No, it wouldn't have happened, man. No, definitely wouldn't have. To all the fans out there that are happy about this, it's like eating fatty food for a long time. Tastes great, and then you get a heart attack. The heart attack's going to be when, we're going to be watching Wonder Woman. It's going to be great. A few movies already cut. Godzilla versus Kong's already kind of done. I've heard they screened it. That's going to be fine. But when we get to the Matrix, where like the production budget may go down.
Yeah, exactly.
And back me up on this, Andy. There's always the streaming service movies are never, the exclusive ones are never on par with theatrical movies, no matter what.
I'm so
they
glad.
Always look less quality.
I'm so glad you said it, because that is where people will start realizing, wait, why did movies start sucking? Because the budgets are going to go down. Budgets and talent, it's all going to go down, where it's like the old guard does not look like Wonder Woman. It's just a fact, because Netflix is creative and cheap. Now, Blumhouse movies and mid-budget films, sure, those can kill on streaming and they continue to do it. But huge, big blockbusters like Godzilla versus King Kong, Wonder Woman, even In the Heights to a degree, these are big-budget theater experience movies that they put a lot of extra money into, planning for that multiple revenue stream. And once that's gone, there's no way for that to happen. I mean, Netflix is still like, it's barely profitable. It's taking forever. And they didn't have a movie studio to just shut down to focus on that. So I don't understand what the thinking is beyond. It's beyond me. And beyond that, the one other thing I want to make sure I echo, as they say here, it's like how are you going to get good content, Louis, in 2022, 2023, 2024, when you've now just told all of the talent in Hollywood, oh yeah, we don't care about you, which is what they did. This is a quote also from an agent who represents extremely important talent with business at Warner's. So this is somebody who's inside already making deals with Warner Brothers, and now this is what they feel Warner Brothers. You had a decades-long legacy as being known as the most talent-friendly studio, and now you've gone from that to a studio that in starburst colors lit up a sign that says, we don't give an F about talent. I mean, that's what they just did. And if you don't understand why that's going to affect your movies and the theater industry and so much more, you just don't get it. I'm trying to explain it to you as best I can. Yes, you'll get some good movies this year, like Louis said, we'll enjoy them, but the ramifications for this could be massive, and not in a good way. It's true. I don't want more streaming stuff. I want to get out. By December of next year, we better be able to get out of our houses to do things safely, whatever, masks on, whatever we got to do. But we got to be able to get out and experience life again. We cannot live in a house caved in to protect the elderly and other, people are saying, like, at a certain point, we got to figure out, I hope someone puts together a plan, whatever, but we got to be able to get out of our houses. This is beyond just movies, even though it seems like it's just movies. This is crazy what's happening to this sort of using this pandemic as a way to just bring up HBO subscribers. This is actually what's happening, and that's why it frustrates me, because this isn't in the best. This isn't actually for fans. This isn't for people. This isn't for to respect the pandemic. This is just to goose subscriber numbers because they think that's a good goal, and that upsets me because. Look, if there were the pandemic is real, it's a thing. I get it. We got to be careful. Then delay the movies like every other studio is doing. Pick a few of them, right, Lewis? I mean, they didn't need to release every single movie on HBO Max. The only reason they're doing that is to goose their subscriber numbers.
I heard an interesting comment on Twitter where someone was blaming Christopher Nolan because he had to release Tenet, so that's why this is happening. That's false because Universal is releasing their movies in theaters. Everyone else is pretty much waiting and seeing what's going to go on. I could wait. Wonder Woman 1984 deserved a theatrical release. I'm sorry, guys. Try to go out there and watch it in the theater if it's safe.
Yeah, I don't know if Lewis is allowed to talk too much about it on video and stuff, but yes, he did see it. He tweeted very passionately about it, and I've seen a lot of people passionate. And yeah, just to echo the point, how sad that now that's just there on. Would you have waited if you had? Do you think if we had waited till the summer or the fall to see it properly in the theaters, would it have had the same effect? Do you think? Would it have been worth to hold on to?
I think the movie, there's a few scenes in there that you had to see. You have to see with a theater, man, in a theater with a few people at least, just to like share the experience with them. I think there's a few scenes like that in there that are just gonna be like you're gonna remember it for the rest of your life.
Right, the cheers, the moments, the screen size, the audio. It's a communal experience. Some of these big budget movies, and it is a real thing. And a lot of people, it's their way from depression. Like you can knock the movies all you want, but for a lot of people, it's a church. It's a place of to get away from what we're stuck in at home and to let that be killed so we can still stay at home to stare at our televisions. I mean, that's why I'm upset about this. Like we gotta live. We gotta live our lives at a certain point too.
Quick thought though, movie theaters are never gonna die. Try being a young person asking a lady out on a date to your house on the first date.
That's true. That's creepy.
It's dinner and a movie, right?
Yeah.
You watch, or vice versa. You go to a dinner and then you watch a movie, right? It's not like, hey, you want to go to dinner and then to my house? I mean,
some people can pull it
off.
Watch
HBO Max.
Guess it's not us, Lewis. Well said. It still gets me upset. There's lots more to happen, but thank you for staying tuned. Go support my man Lewis over at Nerd Report. If you haven't already, go subscribe to him as he gives you lots of other good coverage and a lot of other insight. Anything else you want to say, Lewis?
Man, let's get, if you could get me to 16,000 by the end of the year. I doubt it'll happen, but
let's
maybe.
do it. It's 500 subscribers. We can get you there. Go hit that subscribe button over to Lewis's channel. Thank you, my man, for being here as always.
Thanks, man.
Thank you guys for watching. What do you think about this? Clearly, it's still a lot of you still think Nolan's a crybaby. Do you see where we're coming from and why this is bigger than that? Nolan doesn't even have a movie out. He's got no horse in the race this game. He already got his movie out. He may be frustrated by it, but he's already done it. So there's something more here. He's standing up for the filmmakers, the people, and they're all pissed. And they all have sort of business they're still negotiating, so they can't be as vocal as Nolan can be right now. Nolan's got no other. He's like, I'm done. I did my movie's out. It got effed up. It is what it is, but it's out. I can say whatever the F I want, and I'm clearly going to say that I'm not working with Warner Brothers again. So the fact that Christopher Nolan, who doesn't dish on drama like that, is out there being so vocal. Imagine what people are saying behind the scenes about Warner Brothers right now. It's not good. This was not a good move long term. This was a short-sighted goal that I think they are going to massively regret, and I don't think it's going to actually even help with subscribers. I think torrenting and a lot of other things are going to actually do a lot of damage to HBO Max that they're not even processing. Blinders on of, we got to get goals. AT&T needs subscribers. They're thinking internet and they're not thinking the movie business, and it's a damn shame because Warner Brothers was the next big studio that could have done some amazing things like Disney's doing, and I think they could have really been a run for Disney Plus's money had they done the right thing and actually focused on the filmmakers and made sure they were excited about the projects. lots more to talk about. I don't want to keep going. Lots more to talk about. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell. Make sure the notifications are on. Smash that like button and leave a comment to make sure there's engagement on the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out these other videos in the meanwhile. Lots more coming here on Popcorn Planet. Like, check out that alien video. That stuff is crazy. That one right there on the left. Click it. It's real. The Galactic Federation?
ET phone home.